first, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Well, first off, guys, thank you very much for joining us here. I appreciate your time, and I'm excited to talk about, this win that you have. But Jerry, do you mind, just to give everybody some context of what we're talking about, just giving a little bit of an explanation of the Washington State School for the Blind, and then also what this competition was that you were entered in?
Yeah, definitely. So Washington State School for the Blind is a school for blind and low vision located in Vancouver, Washington. We are a semi-residential school, so we have a cottage program on campus. So students from around the state of Washington and a few from the state of Oregon come and live on our campus part of the week, usually Sunday night through Friday afternoon, and they receive services with other students that live locally who are also blind and low vision, mainly focusing on the IEP. So that's the Individualized Educational Plan, focusing in areas around vision, a number of other things like compensatory skills, what we call the expanded core curriculum, and then any students that also need IEP services in areas of like math, reading and writing, so kind of the traditional IEP areas. So stuff like that. We service, I think, around close to 60 students this year that are on our on-campus program, and then our school also has an outreach program for the rest of the state.
Wow, so that's covering a lot of students, a lot of different activities then.
Yeah. The last time I checked, there's around, and I might have my number wrong, but around 500 students that are blind and low vision in the state of Washington. So to put that in perspective, we serve only about 10% of those school-age children here at our school. So and we have a number of different programs on campus. So we have 2 sports programs. Recreation, woodworking. We have a few other things too. You two might be able to speak to a little bit more. Some other like events like tandem cycling, downhill skating during the winter, as well as our education program. So that's a lot of stuff that we're doing here on our campus.
Yeah, that's a well-rounded list of things that you just mentioned right there. So a lot of different things to be involved with. And then one of them, this competition, this Make48 competition. I want to talk about that in the project that you had, but could you also just explain this for everybody, what the Make48 competition is?
Yeah, definitely. So the Make48 competition is through basically an organization called Make48 that's out of Kansas City, Missouri, if I'm not mistaken. They hold a number of different 48-hour competitions, which is what the 48 comes from, that are centered around innovation, design, sales, and sales pitch. So you show up to this competition. So our students actually competed in a all blind students version of the competition back in April in Kansas City, Kansas, at Kansas State School for the Blind. And there, basically, they give a challenge that you have to design, prototype, and present to a panel of judges that solves a specific problem that's brought up. So they don't know anything about that previous to them being told it at the competition. And then in that 48 hours, they design, they have to meet with patent attorneys, they have to meet with a sort of like initial, what they call that again, that panel of people, focus group to see if it's something that would be of interest, right? literally make a prototype. So they work with all sorts of people like they call tool techs, so woodworkers, CAD design, 3D print, stuff like that. And then at the end of the week, they present it in front of everybody. So it's really quite a big thing. And so our students went and competed in Kansas City, Missouri here in November for the nationals of their 8th season since they televised, which was, we were the only school for the blind there. So they were working with sighted peers, college age, like basically freshman, sophomore level college students through other high school level students. So yeah, that's where we went. And our students in that competition this year won the best pitch portion of that competition. So they pitched their idea and the judges determined that they had the best and most compelling pitch of anyone.
I mean, that's just getting to that point. That's already so many different things and challenges to go through and making the pitch. And, you know, I want to talk to you guys there. And first off, do you mind just introducing yourselves to just so people know who you are really quick?
Hi, I'm Theo Burkhalter.
Hi, I'm Eric Allen.
And yeah, I'm Jared Miller-Price, but my students call me Jerry. Yeah. Nice. And then do you all want to talk about that competition a little bit?
Yeah, tell us about, you know, Theo, let's start off with you. You know, tell me about what made you want to be a part of this competition to begin with.
Part of what made me want to be in this competition is trying to push myself and basically push my boundaries a little bit and explore different job opportunities. Make48 is a great way to find what you are interested in and practice what you're good at. For example, I enjoy marketing. I want to be able to tell people why something is great, and that's part of why I thought Make48 would be a great way for me to practice my best skill.
Yeah, it sounds like that's a very important part of this process of what you all mentioned. I mean, you're meeting with a patent attorney and all of that. So great way for you to practice it. And then on the other side, what is it for you that made you want to be a part of this?
What made me want to be a part of Make48 was that there was like a, how do I put it, like being able to work as a team together, because my skill is leadership, and a big thing they have there is agilities, which is like different components that make up your team. Mine's leadership and management, and which were very helpful, and I enjoy working together as a team to come up with something that helps out in the long run.
Well, let's talk about your pitch. I mean, obviously, we don't have to go through the entire thing, but it was an award-winning pitch. What was the general premise of what it was?
I thought of the pitch as a storytelling, right? I like technology videos, so often I find why technology is important is I look at the stories. So I apply that skills in our Make48 pitch is how can we hook our user to wanting
Nice. And, oh, go ahead, sorry.
Sorry, just the background is distracting me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Them, and then introduce the thing that will benefit them and how they could use it to enrich their lives, mainly.
And we also connected a lot of our pitch to our personal experiences, to the challenge that was at hand, because we were the only blind and low vision team there. So we were able to connect our own experiences to the pitch, which made it good in the long run to implement.
Yeah, I'd say from my perspective of what I witnessed, you know, is they really relied a lot on, you know, a great deal of pathos, you know, so like really kind of inspiring in their listeners this connection to their experience, and then, you know, also being, you know, asking their audience members to try to live into that experience in some way, right, and to, you know, feel with them what that's like. And so I think that made it incredibly compelling. I thought a lot about that as a listener from the audience, you know, hearing my team of students present to everyone. That I thought was one of your big strengths.
Yeah, it sounds like that would be a really unique experience in a way for you to go about that compared to some of the people that you are competing against, because you have that ability to understand things from a different perspective and probably communicate in a much different way. Do you think that's true?
Yeah.
I
Yep.
definitely think that's true.
Well, taking this, from this win and going from there, how do you use this to propel yourself forward, and what are the next steps for all of you, whether it's just continuing along these paths that you like so much, leadership or marketing, or what do you take away from this that helps you in the long run?
For me, this really teaches me how a company works, and it helps me understand why I might want to work for a company and what their ideas and cultures are. And this will prepare me for it to help me put my foot into the water and say, oh, I like this company and I have this skill and I learned how such thing works from this program. I can apply it to my future job, which would be very good for my employer.
Yeah, and it also, what it taught me from after the competition was how to network with higher companies and the right wording to use.
Speaking the right language.
Yeah, speaking the right language of the companies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an important part of it too, is figuring out how to communicate with that, that business language or whatever that may be for different companies, and understanding how they talk to and or how they speak and those different things that they use. Well, last question for each of you. What would you say, now that you've won the competition, and you're obviously continuing on with your careers and you've got these goals in mind, but what would you say to other students, maybe who are also there at the Washington State School for the Blind or in the same capacity? What would you say to them to inspire them to want to go on this same path that you followed?
I would say, if you have a creative mind, if you like to step out and innovate and make something, I think this will be a great place for you to see if you like to continue that path, and basically see also, do you like to leadership? Do you like to communicate? All these different skills that's required in a workplace.
You can also grow a lot in the 48 hours and grow more about your mind, your mindset that you probably didn't have before going into the competition. You learn a lot about you and how you work as a person, but also how you work with other people is a big part of anything that you do in life.
Absolutely. Well, and talking about the pressure, that's a lot of rigorous things to do in 48 hours. Did you get any sleep?
I will say that when we did the first competition back at Kansas School for the Blind, these students, including their other teammate Sadie, who's not with us today, but at that competition, they were definitely burning the midnight oil. Up till 1 a.m., up at 5 a.m. I was really proud of them in this regard, where they were very calm, cool, and collected in a lot of ways about what they were doing, and showed a lot of confidence. And they knew, if I don't take a break, this is going to suffer as a result.
We learned a lot.
I think that was really a good thing.
Well, and all that, we're learning to work as a team and learning all those different aspects and bringing together each one of your skill sets to that as well. Pretty impressive. So congratulations on that award and winning, deservedly so, it sounds like, for what your pitch was. And Jerry, anything else that you think is important just for everybody to know out there about the school and about this big accomplishment?
Well, I think one of the big things that I really want to emphasize is that, blindness is often viewed as a huge barrier to doing things, and is often viewed as this kind of concept of lack of understanding, lack of knowledge, lack of the ability to understand what's coming ahead, right? And I think what's really good with a competition like this, and for this group of students, really showing themselves off, is directly dispelling that sort of misinformation that exists around it, and to, hopefully reinvent people's understanding of blindness, and to know that it's not a limiting factor, but it's just a different way of operating in the world. And blind people do incredible things every day, just like anybody else. That's the most important thing.
Absolutely. And it's honestly that perspective too can even be an advantage in so many different ways as well. And you know, thank you all for having some time to talk to me too about this. I really appreciate it because we want to get the word out about what you did. And congratulations, guys, and to your other teammate for winning and all the hard work that went into that. And looking forward to, you know, finding out what you do afterward and keeping up this path that you're on right now. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you earned it. All right, thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks, Greg. We really appreciate it.
Thanks.
And we are back. Okay, again, really thank them very much for having some time to talk to us today about that and just about what they went through. And congratulations again for that success in there. So we have a lot here at Fox 12 Oregon for Fox 12 Now, and we appreciate you joining us. You can, of course, watch all of our segments afterward at the Fox 12 Oregon YouTube channel, kptv.com, or under the Fox 12 Now tab on the Fox 12 Oregon app. So plenty of places there to watch live and see it afterwards. We have more coming up today.